view of creating a sweep following a path, I want to look at a more complicated drawing of how to create a handlebar like this. As you can see, it's sweeping over different planes, so it's not on one flat plane but on two different planes. To start this, you need to have some idea about the dimensions for it. So if I just double click on this sketch, we see that part of it is 40 by 40 along here with a 20 radius. The second sketch that follows the other side is 20 by 20 radius, 15 radius, and then a 35. And then what I've done, I've mirrored this to create the second view of this. So that's been mirrored to create a second view, and then we've swept that view. Okay, let's see how we go with this to create it. So I'm going to start a new sketch, a new document I should say, new document. Okay, call this handlebar. Wait for it to come up on screen. Okay, so we're going to work on the top plane again. So right click, new sketch, make sure you're looking directly at the top plane. I'm going to start this by drawing a line from the origin, coming this way, with a measurement of 40 millimeters. Like so. I'm then going to press escape to finish the line. I'm now going to go to my arc tool. I'm going to take a tangent arc. Starting from this point here, so it's in tangent to that, I'm going to draw an arc coming up, so it's at roughly at 90 degrees there, or 90 degree there. Okay, but the radius of it, so green tick that, take my sketch again, take my dimension tool, click on this, drag it out. You can see the radius is 20.73, but I'm going to cut it down to 20. There. Okay, so that's now fully constrained because that's all got dimensions on it and it's all in black, so it's fully constrained. Okay, green tick. Now the problem is, how do I then get a part to curl down to the next part, because I can't carry on drawing along this plane, so I need to now work on this on a plane that's parallel to this. So to do that, I'm going to go to my new plane tool here, so you may need to choose it from the drop down list, so plane. Okay, I'm going to choose a plane point, and this is the plane point. So I'm going to click on this point here, and then I'm going to click on the plane that I want it to be parallel to, so that's going to be the right plane here. And watch what happens. It creates a new work plane here that is parallel to this one, but it uses this as its measurement at this point here. So click a green tick. Okay, so now I can start working on this work plane. So I'm going to right click and put a new sketch on that, and right click again and make sure I'm viewing directly to the work plane. Okay, so here's the end of it here. So from that point I want to go to create a straight line from there. Okay, so I'm going to take my straight line tool, find that point that's there, and draw a line coming up from that. And remember, this is working on a different plane now. Click that. I'm going to give that a measurement of 20. Okay, and press escape to finish the drawing. And then I'm going to choose my tangent arc tool. So from this point I'm going to create an arc going like so. There. Press escape to finish it. Take my dimension tool, click on the arc, drag away, so I can actually get my measurement for the arc. And this is going to have a radius of 20. Okay. Now, then take my straight line tool, click on that, drag along. Oh, now it's going slightly funny here. I want it to be, make sure I'm actually horizontal. There. Okay, that's fine there. We'll give a dimension of 20 on that. Now, in order to make sure these two actually join up correctly, I'm going to add a constraint to this. So I'm going to choose from the list here a tangent constraint. I'm going to click on this straight line here and then the arc together. And what it will do is make sure the straight line and the arc join correctly. Okay. I'm also going to constrain this way, so I'm going to click on this line and this arc here, and that should constrain the two so they are it's a comfortable arc that's been created there. Okay. I'm going to finish this off with another arc, so tangent arc starting from here, come round like so. Okay. Then take my dimension tool, click on the arc, find the measurement. I'm going to give this a dimension of 15, so it's 15 radius, and then take my straight line tool, come from this point, come this way, 20 again. Okay, and then press escape to finish it off, and again use my tangent tool to make sure this line and this arc are actually in tangent to each other. Green tick. Now let's have a look at the effect. So now I have this section on one plane, on the top plane, and this section on my new plane. Okay, but remember this is only half of the actual handlebar. So I'm going to use a mirror tool here. I'm going to click on the entities to mirror, which are these lines here. So let's say yeah, these lines here. So this is going to be a feature mirror. So this line, this edge here, that edge, this part, and this part here. That's it, it's got those two sketches there. And the plane is going to be the front plane here. So now I should have my handlebar created out there in full. Okay. And green tick that. Okay, so now I need to have a profile for the sweep to follow. And again, I need a work plane that sits on this point here. So I'm going to go to my new work plane tool again. I'm going to choose a plane point, click on the point that I want it to be, click on the work plane that I want it to actually be parallel to. That creates the new work plane here, green tick. So that work plane is parallel to the front plane here. Yeah. And I want to now put a sketch on here for my profile. So right click, new sketch, right click again, view to sketch plane. That's the point that I want the profile to be. So I'm going to use a center point circle, start from this point, drag out until I have the dimension, the diameter of the circle that I want. So I want this one to be diameter of 10 millimeters there. Enter. So I have one circle there. Green tick. Now, so I have now a profile to follow, and a profile to use and a path to follow with my sweep. There's my sweep tool. Click on the circle profile, then choose the sweep path, and that's going to be all these lines here. So click, click, and that should start to build it up. The image over there, 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 all the way through. Green tick. So now I have my handlebars created across two work planes. I'm going to also use the shell tool, so I'm going to click the shell tool, click on the end of my tube. There, it's shell thickness is 2.5. I'm going to change that to 1 mil, and I'm going to click on the other end of the tube here, so that it's a complete shell all the way through. Green tick, and there I have my shape. Press the P key to hide the planes, and now I have my handlebars created. Okay. Now if I wanted to edit any of these, say I wanted to change this length here, I just go back to the sketch above the mirror, so that sketch there, double click. That value is the length of the bottom of the stem there. We change this, say, to 25 millimeters. There. The whole drawing, once I click the green tick, will be updated. Bingo. And there I have my handlebars created there. Pretty good. Have a go.